Okay, this is Seattle Showgal here with Tyler Hilton. How are you going? Or how are you doing?
Doing good.
Cool.
Yeah, stoked to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Is this your first time in Seattle, or have you been here before?
No, I've been here a bunch actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've played here a lot over the years.
Okay.
At I can't think of any of the venues, but I played here lots of times.
When was the last time you were here?
I was here probably maybe 10 months ago or so.
Oh, really?
I played it. I'm trying to remember the name of the place. I remember it was by the baseball stadium.
Showbox?
That was it. Showbox. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool little place.
Yeah, awesome. How was your time there last time you were here?
It was good. It was kind of like this time where it's not long enough, you know. Like we just got in today, and I think it was the same thing that day.
Yeah,
We just came in,
yeah.
played, and then left, you know.
Cool. So what's the purpose of this upcoming tour that you're on?
Just to like say hey to the fans and like play some music and kind of get, and then it's the first tour of the new EP and the new record and everything, so just kind of getting everything out there. And I'm just digging being on the road after being in the studio for so long, you know.
Yeah. So how long were you in the studio recording your newest album?
I've been working on it for like 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah.
I was working on it forever.
Yeah.
I worked on it in LA for a while, and then I moved to Nashville for a year and worked on it there.
Oh wow.
And then came back to LA and finished it up. And I mean, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like I love doing it and I love writing, I love being in the studio, but it was definitely a long time being away from like going out on a long tour, which I love being out here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I know it's been like several years since your last album came out, like 2004 I think was
Yeah.
your last album. So what was the reason for taking such a long hiatus, I guess?
I just wanted to do something good and something that I thought was worth putting out there. I just didn't want to get lazy with it, and this one, just kind of took me. I guess everything I was doing, I just didn't feel like was kind of, I don't know, it just wasn't like hitting me as like something that was like really worth asking everyone to listen to. And then I just kind of kept cracking away, and I loved doing it, and then we got, I got something that I really, really liked, and so that's why I decided we were done when I was like, this sounds great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how does your newer stuff compare to your older stuff? Like, what did you do differently?
This time I wrote with a bunch of different people, which I hadn't done before. I wanted to kind of bring in some new ideas and new influences. I also wrote with a band in mind a lot of the time. Before I just kind of written on acoustic guitar. And then also this time I wrote a lot of these songs from the mindset of a vocalist too, which was different because a lot of the songs I wrote were just kind of as a guy on his bed with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And this time I was like feeling like singing a lot more, and so I kind of approached this record like that a bit more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who would you say some of your influences are musically?
Like in general, like I really like kind of old folk music. I love like early Bob Dylan, and I love Robert Johnson, and I love kind of old blues and old folk music, and kind of rock and roll that's come out of that, But for this record, it's weird. I took a lot of the I really wanted to make a record that sounded big and melodic and current, and there was a lot of bands that I was really liking, like just modern bands that I just really liked. Like I thought Coldplay's new record was really great, and One Republic's new record was really great, and there was just like a lot of great new music that was coming out, and so I kind of was taking the influences that I usually have and kind of letting everything else that was new kind of wash over me and make this record. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
So kind of switching gears, I understand that you've done a lot of acting. So
Yeah.
how does that tie in at all with your music? Or does it at all?
It did for a bit there with One Tree Hill and Walk the Line. It did, because I was a musician in both those. But other than that, it really hasn't. I mean, the only way it ties in now is that how fans of maybe the movies also come to the shows, which is awesome. But other than that, it hasn't really like overlapped that much in the last few years.
So is there one that you identify with more, acting or music?
Probably music, but it might just be because I spend more time on it,
Yeah.
And acting I haven't done as much. But, it'll probably change, like, for the last, for a while now, it's just been music, and it probably has been since I started, my family are all musicians, and it just kind of feels more like what I do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you definitely started off as a musician first, and then did acting?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how did you find out that you were musically inclined?
I don't know if I ever found out. I just kind of, I think I just found out because people kept telling me that they thought I was good. But I was singing and playing just anyway, and probably a lot of people sing and play, and nobody tells them they're good, and that's the end of it. I was just lucky because I would sing and play, and people would be like, "Oh, I like that," or "Oh, you sound good." So I got to keep doing it. Now I get to do it for a living, you know. But I just really enjoyed it. That's how it started, you know.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, on tour, like, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you on tour?
Man, ever happened to me? I'm not even
Yeah.
really sure. Probably the rule of thumb is probably the craziest things that have ever happened to me. I probably don't remember, you know. But I think you know. I think that would be it. You know, all the time I'll get calls from different band members and people I toured with, and they'll be like, "Do you remember when?" I'll be like, "No, I do not." But
Yeah.
I'll think of one maybe.
Yeah.
Beef jerky's in there?
After this album, I guess, what else do you have in work?
Well, now that the record's done, the only thing I have going now, the only thing I have actually planned is this tour with Spill Canvas. There's a lot of things that I'm kind of would like to do. There's a few things I'm working on. I've got a music video, or 2 music videos that I'm kind of working on whenever I'm in LA off the tour, and then this tour, and then at the end of this tour, which will take me to the end of May. I would love to go out on a tour all summer as well. So I'm just kind of looking to see if I'm going to go out alone, or if I'm going to go out with some friends of mine, or if I'm going to go out with somebody new. So just kind of waiting to see what the people that do that, you know, figure out, you know.
Cool. In terms of tours, have you just done national tours, or have you gone international?
Yeah, I've only done Canada and the U.S. I haven't done overseas at all. And this record is the first record that I think I'm going to take overseas and tour over there as well. So I'm still, you know, so there's a lot of plans for it. I just haven't. I'm just, you know, we're still kind of in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
I've only been out promoting this record for maybe 2 weeks, so it's only just beginning.
Yeah, that's right. You just got started your tour.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess going back to the music videos, I know that you collaborated with Taylor Swift on her music video.
Yeah.
Do you have any other collaborations coming up?
No, not music video wise.
Or even like not music
Oh,
video
just
wise,
collab.
just in general.
No, on the record, I have a lot of cool people kind of singing with me. I've got my good friends are in this band called Lady Antebellum.
Oh, that's right.
They're singing on my record. And another good friend of mine named Rachel Yamagata, she's singing on our record too. So that was really cool. So the record will have a bunch of different people singing on it and playing on it. Yeah.
In terms of like your past collaborations, who has been the most fun, I guess, to work with? The most memorable?
What was probably really fun was just because it was so organic, was probably working with Bethany Joy Lenz for the When the Stars Go Blue song we did, because we kind of took that song and we kind of just like made it our own from the ground up. We're in this little studio in North Carolina, and it was really cool that the fans dug it so much, but it was really kind of just felt like she and I were making a demo, and we were also really doing it for fun, and that was probably the most exciting collaboration because we didn't really intend it to be anything, and then the fans really dug it, and then they kind of worked it into the show, and so that was probably the most like surprising, the most rewarding, because it was like, wow, this really ended up doing something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Have anything else you want to add, I guess?
Let's see. No, just that, that my website has the tour dates, and
right.
I'm also doing updates on Twitter and stuff. And then the EP, my EP just came out, called Ladies and Gentlemen. It just came out Tuesday. So.
Right. And your newest album is coming out this summer. Is that correct?
Yeah, coming out this summer.
Full album.
Yeah, I put out like 4 songs from the record on this EP, and then the rest of it comes out this summer.
Sounds good.
Cool.
I guess that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for doing the interview.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for